There's definitely some overlap with this one. Judicial review is the next principle of the government we're going to look at. And we kind of just mentioned in the checks and balances video that the main check that the Supreme Court has is the ability of the Supreme Court to strike down laws that Congress passes because they're unconstitutional, they go against the Constitution, or to stop something the president's doing because something the president's doing is unconstitutional. The idea of like reviewing what Congress does and what the president does and deciding whether or not it's constitutional is known as judicial review. It's the judicial branch reviewing the decisions made by the other two branches and then preventing it from going into effect if it's deemed to be unconstitutional. So the interesting thing about this is that judicial review is not actually mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. This is something that sort of the Supreme Court gave to itself. At the beginning of our country's history, the role of the Supreme Court wasn't all that clear. And it wasn't until the case of Marbury versus Madison in 1803, which you'll learn more about the actual details about that in the American history class. The Supreme Court at that time is led by John Marshall, who's the longest serving Chief Justice in our country's history. He wasn't the first Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, but he's definitely probably one of the most influential. And his court, in this court case, actually, as part of its decision, gave itself the power of judicial review, which has become part of our governmental system ever since. I mean, imagine what the Supreme Court would be today if it didn't have the ability to strike down laws and presidential actions as being unconstitutional. Then what role would it potentially have? So judicial review, interestingly enough, is not part of the actual Constitution, but it's become part of our government through the Marbury versus Madison court case that took place in 1803.